Hey, this is Coach Snow with CrossFit Iron Haven. I wanted to go over a few efficiency tips for the ski erg, since these are a couple new machines that we just got. And there is some technical things to them that will make them a lot more efficient, just kind of like the rower. So the first thing you want to consider is driving downward like a reverse deadlift. However, instead of going down with a flat back, which is a lot of hip hinge, you actually want to drive down in a crunching position, like you're gonna crunch your abs. So if you try to squeeze and pull your ribs down towards your thighs in this rounded back position, kind of like you have a sandbag on your thighs, this is actually the position that's gonna be more effective to drive with power versus trying to go down with a flat back and a proud chest. So it's going to recruit your abdominals, that compression, a lot more effectively when you drive down. So you want to think of crunching as your first cue. When you start to pull down on the handles, you're going to crunch your abs, and that's going to recruit the center of your body first before the extremities. So I usually give it a couple little pulls just to get the flywheel going, and then you're going to crunch down with the abs, crunch, 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 crunch. Okay, so notice how that's a little different than here, which is a lot more hip hinge and a lot more taxing on the hamstrings. So then when you crunch down, your hips are still gonna go back, but you're not gonna think about purposely setting the back. You're thinking about driving your ribs or your chest towards your thighs as fast as possible, and then a little bit of bend in the knee in order to make sure that there's no stretch or tension in the hamstrings. So the second thing is T-Rex arms. Just kind of like, with kettlebell swings, med ball sit-ups, you don't want the arms to go away from you. You want to keep those elbows close, like you're pulling yourself up a rope. So when you pull down on the handles instead of long straight arms, you're gonna actually drive your elbows close to you and keep the handles in close as you drive down. So crunch with the abs, elbows in close. Versus out far, okay? Also notice if people are just like going with straight arms, and use that lower body. The last thing is making sure that you're starting with the upper body first and not the arm pull. It is tempting to want to initiate the movement with the arms. Like there is going to be a little bit of bend, but you want to wait to put on your hat after you've already bent down. So bend down and then put the hat on your head. If you have a big hat with a brim on it, put the hat on your head after you bent down. So you're going to crunch and then put the hat on your head, crunch and then hat, crunch and then hat, crunch and then hat, versus arms and then crunching. So you can see the difference in these last few strokes. I'm starting with the arms first, and then in these next few strokes, I'm going to start with the abs first. So abs and then pull. You want to finish strongly, like you're trying to throw water off of your hands. So just kind of like the rower, you want speed to go all the way through the middle of the stroke and with a strong finish. So with the rower, when we pull, we finish aggressively into the chest. With the handles on the ski erg, you want to finish aggressively all the way at the very end, so you're going to end up with straight arms. You don't want to end up with your arms bent still, like this. You want to finish strong with a flick of the thumb to make sure that you're still getting at speed. Now when you return up to the top, you are recovering, okay? So this is the time for you to catch your breath, to go nice and slow and relaxed so that you're ready to reset the drive down. So a couple different techniques. You can go arms straight in line, like railroad tracks. So where the thumbs go straight up to the top, or you can circle out in an oval pull down. And then in terms of gaze, I myself personally just like to look down. It might be a lot of like head bobbing to like look up and then down. But I find like, you know, making sure you're tossing your head down really helps with that ab crunching position. Lastly, your starting position, make sure your hips are opened up all the way. So instead of keeping those hips closed, you got that hip extension. That hip extension allows you to more effectively create that compression, okay? So if you start with your hips already closed off, you're not going to be able to create as much compression as if you were to extend the hips. So hip extension and then crunch versus being here. Okay. All right. So hope you enjoyed some of those tips and happy skiing.